Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Everybody here? Anybody here? Let me see. Chat, can you hear me? I'm flying solo today. I don't think Miss Rissa is feeling good. Oh, look, there's Teddy. Hi, Teddy. Let's see. I see. There we go. I got a new device to play with that it's so cool, but I'm still figuring out how to use it. Refreshing. So, while we wait for Madame Rissa, I'm gonna give her a few minutes. I guess I can go over some of the upcoming projects that we have going on. Um, so we have part two that is going to be filmed really shortly with that family that wanted some answers. So I believe that's going to be happening within the next couple of weeks. We're kind of having trouble organizing schedules and everything like that, just to make sure that we have access to the house and nobody's in. Is everybody able to hear me all right? I want to make sure because I know someone said last week that I sounded muffled, and then somebody said that I sounded like I was, you know, using a horn to speak. But anyway, so that should be very interesting. And the reason that I'm so wanting to get back there is because of some of the answers we were getting on that spirit box session. And it was just absolutely unbelievable. Like I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, no way, no way is this little phone app something that, something that is actually going to work. And like I said, I was shocked. I was actually shocked about the answers that we were getting. And the really weird thing, I was told by the family, because they had actually watched the live stream as we were doing it. And oh, hang on, I could shut that off. How do I shut that off? Oh, there we go. That should work. Let me know. So I was I found out from the family later on that um the name Sarah had come up in the spirit box. And what was really odd about that was oh really? That's good. That's really good. You know what I did though? I messed with a couple of settings over the past few days. I've been messing with things like significantly. And I got a new desk. It came in yesterday, so the studio has been an absolute mess trying to get everything put back together. And when I did that, I unplugged everything, and then I hooked things back up into better areas on my docking station. And ever since then, any of the lag that we had before with the chat and any of the live streams had started just like kind of dissipating. And I was like, okay, well, that works. That's cool. So I guess it just needed a reset. Um, but yeah, so the family was telling me, they're like, the name Sarah is the name of our next door neighbor. And I'm like, no, no, that's not true. And she goes, oh no, yes, it is. It's the name of my next door neighbor. And I'm like, well, we're gonna have to come back now and try to see if we can get another spirits box session in. And I'm really curious because now I'm gonna ask some more like specific questions than I did the last time. and we're going to be using, going off of the name Sarah to kind of see if we can gather any more information and find out, is this a possible spirit that may be attached to her, and it's just kind of sort of, going through um, this family's home, which I wouldn't doubt it. Stuff like that can happen. So I wanna get back in there. I want to get back in there to do more investigation because it's definitely warranted. We have tried to like pinpoint a day and time, but we're just kind of running into problems. Schedules aren't meeting up and things like that. So we will definitely get back to you guys in the meantime. And so the next project that we're having, and we had kind of a little bit of a team meeting this morning to figure out, how we wanted to go about everything. And there is a place called Rutland Prison Camp, and everybody is more than welcome to look it up. I know that they're going to be demolishing, I think, most of the remaining buildings soon, if they haven't already. But I am going to try to get us in there. And that particular place, I actually want to do a live investigation at. I originally had pre-recorded stuff, and I'm still gonna, let out the pre-recorded things and for everybody to see. But I kind of want to do a live stream because I think that place is a little more interesting and would be really good for a live stream as opposed to doing a pre-recorded show for ADFP. Yeah, so it's called Rutland Prison Camp. It's in a town called Rutland, Massachusetts. And what this place was like, how do I put this? So, do you know, what is it? Do you know what like a halfway house is when a prisoner gets released from it should be interesting. And now the thing is too, the last time I was out there, it was last summer, and it was I think it was like 12 o'clock in the morning, and we had some really weird things happen while we were there. Like, and mostly it was more normal than paranormal because it was people, but it still was, no, no. So I haven't been back there since last summer. The last time I went, the gates were closed. And so I need to figure out if those gates are open because I want to get in there and I want to do a live investigation. And now keep in mind, this prison camp is in the middle of nowhere, like the absolute middle of nowhere. And so you won't see like car lights or street lights or anything. Like it's just, pitch black. And so the last few times I went, I saw like cars and stuff coming, and it was like, what are people doing there that what are you doing there that it's like 12, what is it? It was 11 or 12 o'clock in the morning, and cars are coming in, and it's like, what are you doing in the middle of nowhere in a prison camp, an abandoned prison camp at night? Like, I know why I'm there. I'm investigating the place. Why are you there? Oh my God. Oh my God. One second, guys. I just gotta answer someone. Um, but yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. And I picked this one specifically to be as opposed to doing a pre-recorded show for ADFP. I think that this one would be just a little bit more interesting as far as being, a live investigation because it is in the middle of nowhere. So that just kind of sets the scene on its own. And then on top of that, it's, it's if the buildings are still there, there's only like a couple of buildings that were still standing the last time I went. But there is an area that I found that was the old, I think it was the old hospital. I'm almost positive it was the old hospital. But this entire place was just nothing but a field. There's no building remaining of it. But that particular hospital held patients that were prisoners that, I believe they had TB. Yes, it was a TB hospital for the prisoners. And a lot of prisoners died there. I mean, a lot of prisoners died there. And so I know there is somewhere out in those woods, there is a graveyard with unmarked graves. Like there are no headstones or anything. The only way that you know that it's a graveyard is the historical society put a plaque, like a rock plaque or something like that. I have yet to be able to find it, so that is actually going to be on my exploration list to find the thing. Yeah. So that will definitely be interesting. And then the other thing that I kind of had going for me was there's a place I know that I've mentioned it quite a few times, the Clinton Tunnel, and I have gotten basically an 80% permission, if that makes any sense. I'm waiting for one person to get back to me, but as far as it's looking right now, we will be able to go in there at night and do a live investigation. Um, so that's going to be coming soon, but that one is going to be on ADFP. So that won't be a live feed, as I know a few people have mentioned to me. They're like, "Oh, why don't you do the train tunnel as a live investigation?" I'm like, "No, that's the interesting one. That's the fun one with the ginormous dam right next to it that, drops down 200 feet." So, but yeah, yeah. So those are the few things that we have going on right now. And then we are in the process of, rearranging and reorganizing the studio. And then we have other things going on. I have little projects that I have in my back pocket. There may be a road trip coming up soon, and if that road trip happens, we will be going and doing investigations in abandoned places in different states. So there's two possible trips that are going to happen. One trip is going to be going down towards North Carolina. The other trip is actually going to be going northwest, in Wisconsin. But I'm going to be able to stop midway in, I think, close to Chicago. And so that, if I do that trip, that one in particular, I'm going to wind up hitting almost 15 different places. One of them being an abandoned mine. Don't know how I feel about that one yet. I don't know how I feel about that one yet. I have seen I've seen, things on YouTube and stuff like that, other paranormal shows, and people do, investigations in mines, and it's just like, I sit and I look, and it's like, wow, you're so daring. Like you could see some of the beams were broken, and it's like, we will see if I actually go in that. I'm also semi claustrophobic, so that doesn't help. But yeah, so that's kind of where we stand with that. But either way, we're going to be doing at least one trip this summer to get a ton of different footage for ADFP, and that will definitely be interesting. especially if we do the one down in North Carolina, because there is a old going down on the way down. There is supposed to be a there's supposed to be a what is it? It's like an abandoned freeway, and it actually has a tunnel. Oh, hang on one second. Miss Rissa is going to be joining us right now. Let me see. Hi, let me bring you in. Okay, let's make sure that I can hear you. Can say hello?
Hello.
Hello. Have you seen that
Hello.
new Adams Family movie?
I have not.
Oh my God, the way that you were saying hello reminded me of it. You got to watch it. It's hysterical.
Where did you
So,
find that?
I found it on Amazon. It was on Amazon. And I've watched it like 6 times because I can't get enough of it. It's so stupid and quirky, but it's that like quirkiness that makes it that much more funny. And they pay homage to the original Addams Family show. So you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. But Wednesday in the show, she goes, "Hello." Oh God, it's too good. But I was filling people in on the what do you call it stuff, the projects that we got going on.
Mhm.
So I think we're gonna try to do Rutland Prison Camp again for the
Are they
90th time.
open?
I don't know. I don't know. Eh, I haven't been down there yet, and I'm actually really tempted to jump in the car after Spirit Talk tonight to see if it's open. And if it's not open, I'm crashing the gate.
Not bad.
You're not keeping me out.
See, the
Or
thing is that we could very well like hop the gate and such, but park the car out of the way and hop the gate or whatever. But that's an
so
awful long walk with equipment.
yeah, that's an awful long walk, and you're talking about walking. I
Yeah,
don't do walking. No,
but it's
no.
good for you.
Oh yes, but no. No. Okay, listen.
Okay then.
That
Forget that.
investigation, that investigation you got me to do. Okay, well that we did the other day, not the other day, a few
Uh-huh,
weeks back with that family.
uh-huh.
I still need to pay homage to the fact that you got me to run up and down stairs. Like that is a feat all on its own.
Hey,
Like
I did it
seriously.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, but like I was saying, I'm hoping to be able to get out there because I want to do a live investigation for Rutland instead of doing doing just a regular pre-filmed ADFP thing.
Right.
So we'll kind of play the fence and see what we can find. I'm really hoping that we can get in, that they don't have, you know. Hang on one second. I gotta go
Sure.
kill a bird.
Okay.
Whoops! I keep hitting the wrong buttons.
I did
I
see
just.
This Adam Family movie, by the way. It
Oh, you did?
was a
Oh my
while
god.
back, but
Yeah, wasn't it funny?
it was fun.
Oh, it was
Yep.
so funny. The movie.
Instamall.
And I love the what's her name? The Parker girl goes, "You want to go to the mall?" And Wednesday goes, Yes, I haven't been to a good mauling. What kind of poltergeist? Are you talking about the movie, Teddy? What are the spirits called that throw things? So spirits that throw things, it could be a number of things. It could be a poltergeist, which I don't really differentiate between poltergeist and spirit. The only difference that I know of is that a lot of times a poltergeist is some sort of evil entity that masks itself as, a deceased person that, this thing is what, like, attacking. Um,
Well,
but
let me say
it's
this about that. As far as like the word poltergeist, I feel like it's just another spirit. It's just a more malicious spirit.
yeah,
And for any spirit to throw something, that spirit's got to have an awful lot of energy
yeah, yeah.
that it's feeding on or picking up or came with.
And
Yeah,
there are things, and there are spirits that, they gain momentum and they're able to throw something, but it's usually
for
a
sure.
quick burst of energy. When it comes to like poltergeist, though, I personally don't think that they're actual human spirits. I think that they're an evil entity that has
Yeah.
attached itself to a person, and a lot of times they masquerade as like a dead family member, a dead friend, and it's literally to confuse you. But that has been my understanding of poltergeists. They can they can all go jump off cliffs.
And the other thing is like this is just my thing is I don't like using polarizing words like good and evil, bad and
Yeah,
good. It's harmful or malicious.
yeah,
Sorry to correct you there. It takes time to like pick that up too, but
yeah. It's it, you say potato, I say potato, or whatever it is.
well,
But
something throwing is a spirit throwing something could just mean it's trying to get your attention too.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it
and
may not necessarily be, end quote, evil. It could just be a little, chaotic. Because occasionally I get pissed off and throw something too.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We all do.
Just saying.
We all do. I know, like, yeah, we won't go there.
Oh, what were you gonna say? Come on.
Oh, I was saying there was one time I got mad at Mike and I threw a glass. Uh,
Ooh,
yeah,
marital
Mike
spat.
Mike Mike got in trouble. Mike got in trouble. And then he got in more trouble because I made him clean up the mess.
Ooh.
Snap. Snap. Snap.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, yeah, that was one of those situations, Janice, that you told me about. That was So she had a situation happen that she told me about a while ago, Rissa.
Ugh.
And what the situation was and what happened is she was sitting in, I think it was her kitchen, and a plate that had originally belonged to her mother
Hmm.
came flying off the wall and landed on the ground, and I think it broke in like a few different pieces. And so she was
Huh.
asking if that was a poltergeist, and no, that's not a poltergeist. That is a spirit trying to get your attention, and I would guess that it would be your mother, if I had a guess.
Why would
But,
she break the plate though?
you know, that is a question that I will have to go over with her again, because
Mm,
I, for the life of me, cannot remember that. But
mm.
it was something that stuck in her mind. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, so she's brought it up to me a few times. Um, 3 flowers. Oh, that's right. Okay, so the plate had 3 flowers on it, and the flowers were supposed to represent the kids, so it would be her, her brother, and her sister. Well,
Ah,
long story short, the three of them kind of divided, and the plate split to the point that one flower was on one side and the other 2 flowers were together on another side. So
interesting.
yeah, so there was definitely some, signal miss um message there. There was definitely like a message.
Yeah, a message of significance.
Yeah, yeah. So that's one of those
Interesting.
things where you kind of you got to be in the moment. You can't, it's not something that would be really easily figured out
Yeah,
without us actually being there and seeing it for ourselves. So, but I know when I spoke to her about it, it definitely was like, wow, okay, so she's trying to get your attention for something, and I couldn't tell you why. It's one of those sad situations where unless we were there, we not much we can do. But
I'd rather not be there when spirits are flinging things.
listen, we've already been through our own. And we've been through more than our fair share of things being thrown at us.
Need that.
So, oh, so should we tell people the surprise? Which
What is the surprise?
you know what the surprise is. We talked about it on our meeting.
I know, but you have to tell people what the surprise is.
Okay, well, let's see. Does everybody know? Does everybody want to know what the surprise is? Let's see how many people we can get to say something. Come on, get in the chat. Say something. Talk, talk, talk.
How many people do we have in the chat? Because I'm not looking at it right now.
4.
Damn, we're
I,
popular.
I see Cindy, Teddy, as usual. Teddy's always here. I love Teddy. He's awesome. He monitors our chat for us. And then occasionally he'll yell at me, throw stuff at me, and say, hey,
Nobody
listen.
wants to play with us.
He monitors the chat and then, he'll poke me every now and again and be like, hey, I'm trying to talk to you.
Nice.
Yeah, I
Well,
have a
thank
bad
you, Teddy.
habit. I have a very, very bad habit of not paying attention to chat.
It's the
So
ADD.
that and a few other things.
Oh,
I'm
boy,
sure.
something sparkly.
I'm sure. Squirrel. That's me, squirrel. So we have one
Fish shadow.
yes. Ow. We have one yes. I know I saw a Cindy in there somewhere. There's a Cindy. So I guess I will tell. We'll tell them. What do you think? Should we tell them or should we just keep it a
Yeah,
secret?
yeah, we'll tell.
Give them the suspense. So I came up with a pretty nifty idea that I know a lot of people are gonna like. And so the idea that I had is I'm gonna be doing a oh yeah, I'll talk about that later. Um Janice is talking about the dark entity that was across the street at our old house, the one I told you about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll talk about that after I tell them the surprise. So, ooh, so the surprise is we are going to be doing a giveaway. And the giveaway is going to be a EMF detector and an EVP recorder. And so what basically the rules that we're gonna have. I haven't quite figured out if I'm able to send things overseas yet, but if people do come in and people want to participate in it, I'm going to wind up putting a post up at some point, whether it be on Facebook or Twitter or, something, to show how you can enter and things like that and what, the rest of the rules will be. But as far as sending things overseas, I have to first see how much it's going to cost to do that. But as far as like shipping in the United States, I am capable of doing that without a problem. But I'm gonna have to check the what do you call it, stuff about sending things, electronics and stuff like that overseas. I know that there's some weird stuff, but so this giveaway is gonna be specifically to get a EMF detector and a EVP recorder, so a voice recorder. So we will be. When did I say we're gonna start that? Not this
You
Saturday
didn't.
coming up. Oh
I
yes,
don't
yes,
think.
yes.
I don't.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I had a date set in my head, but I didn't actually say it. So it's gonna be not this Saturday coming up. It's gonna be the following Saturday, which is July 1st. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be putting a thing on Facebook, and on that we'll have all of the rules, how you enter, and things like that. And we'll kind of have a little fun with it. Make it make it make it interesting. Which it's me and Rissa. We make everything interesting.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, you cannot put us in the same room together without crap happening.
Nope.
That, yeah. So, but the entity um that she was talking about, that Janice was talking about. So there was this really weird situation where we had an old Victorian home. The house was built in 1880, and the house was set up all sorts of weird. Like Rissa can tell you, like that house was just
It really was like that house was never meant to be like busted up into
it.
two like
It was not.
separate apartments the way it was. It was just
Yeah,
weird.
it was not. And so I had a first floor and second floor, but my first floor technically started on the second floor, and my second floor was the third floor. And this house was big enough that these rooms on the third floor were not. There was one really weird laid out room, but the ones on the third floor were still pretty good size. And in our master bedroom, I had this little nook, and I built a desk on the nook. And
Yep.
so I'm sitting there one day. I can't remember what I was doing. I think this was back when I was still in school. So I think I was doing schoolwork. And I look out the window, and it's half dark out. It was like that kind of like twilight just before it got dark kind of thing.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I look out and I see this figure across the street staring up right at our house. And then I saw it again, I want to say like maybe a month and a half later. There was another figure that was standing inside one of the windows in the house. It was the same house. It was across the way, except this time he was inside. And he was
That one on
staring
the creepy one on the corner with the
on the
train.
corner. Yep, yep. It
Does not surprise me in the least.
always. Yep. No, that house. There's something wrong with that house. There's something wrong with that house. There's just no way that. No. So,
Wasn't that the one
and
that was wasn't that the house that was like empty most of the time or something?
yes, yes. So there weren't very many. Um, like I know that the family went there every now and again to watch, to look at stuff or get pick up the mail or something like that. Like I couldn't
Like
really
they were
tell you.
there was hardly ever any like human activity there
Yeah, no, never. As a matter of
or people
fact,
in the house.
we would park our cars sometimes over there, and the owners of the house, they let us do that, especially like if we had people over. They let
Mhm.
us do that because it makes it look like people are home. So instead of having the house just sit vacant, they would let us park our cars in their driveway, front yard thing. And
Uh-huh.
they liked it because, their cars in front of the house and people think they're home, so nobody will break in. I can
Right.
tell you that I wanted to break in a couple of times after I saw those, that dark figure, and I don't know. I got
I think,
goosebumps just thinking about it.
well, that's the thing is that if you saw a figure in the house, but nobody was at the house, well then.
Nobody was there, and I know as a fact nobody was there because their truck was not there, and they have a suburban, a black suburban,
Right.
so there is no missing that by any means.
Right.
So it's just one of those weird things, one of those really, really weird things. And I never figured it out because I never actually went in to do an investigation on it. And now I'm actually curious. What I should do is I should go over there and I should put a note on their door so that if they ever go back and they check the mailbox, um, maybe I can just say, "Hey, listen, I used to live across the street. I used to see weird things in the house. Can we come in and do an investigation?" You know what? I'm gonna do that.
I
I'm
think
gonna
that
do
would
that.
be a great I think that would be a great investigation.
I think so too. And the house is empty, so
Well, the
that
goal
would make it
is,
perfect. Yep, yep. That would definitely be perfect. Wow. See, this
the
is
other
why I love having Myrissa because she makes my life so much better, and I get to bounce ideas off of her, and she listens to me sometimes.
the other place that I would love to get into is that end quote haunted mansion here in Gardner.
Yes, I put in an inquiry. I did put in an
Um,
inquiry.
and
Have not heard
people
back.
playing all kinds of stuff. There was one Halloween, I want to say it was the Halloween back in 2014 or 15. There was a coven of witches outside with a creepy doll. But I would love to see just how haunted the place really is. Or if it is at all. I mean, it could just be hype and,
I wouldn't be
but
surprised if it's hype. I really wouldn't. But like I said, I did put in an inquiry on.
mhm.
I emailed them, and I haven't heard back. So I'll try to email them again and see what we can get. Maybe we can work something out and get in there. Didn't they change that into a B&B, or did that never go through?
I don't know what they changed. I don't. It never went through that it's a B and B. I know that they did all kinds of renovations.
Yeah, yeah, because
I
that's what it was
found a
supposed to be.
here.
Yeah, but
I remember that they were supposed to have a walkthrough a few years back,
I do remember that.
and I was so pissed because they closed it off to the public. You had to pay to get in and see it.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I'll try emailing them again. If they don't get back to me, then I'll try calling them. Um,
Mm.
if I can find the number of the people that run the place. But I do want to get in there. Originally, I wasn't very interested in getting in there because I've heard some really bad things about it. But now, now that we do investigation and stuff like that, it's like, I got to kind of set aside that fear
Hmm.
to, and there, and I know that you, Rissa, you can vouch for this. There's very few things that scare me.
Hmm.
Very, very few things that scare me, especially when it comes to the paranormal. And when I am afraid to enter onto a property, there's usually a very good reason. And Rissa is the same way. You know, her and I are both extremely sensitive to stuff like that. And you know, when she doesn't want to go somewhere, like I know that there is a legitimate reason. And that
There aren't
house
many.
for
Yeah, there aren't many places that I won't go.
yeah, yeah,
Like
same with me.
that. I know I looked up the history of that house, and there are the rumors, and there have been other investigations in it, but I feel like it's a lot of hype.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You know, I am trying to get in there. I did drive by it a couple of times and I did get like this really, it's not ominous, off-putting. It was a very, very off-putting kind of, vibe coming off of it. But that could be a number of things. That could be just me, knowing the history behind it. Um, so we'll kind of see. We'll see what happens. But, I'm trying. I'm trying to get in there. The other one that I want to do is the Lizzie Borden house, but I heard that the house got sold. So,
Oof.
yep. And I think it's in private hands now. Good
See,
luck.
to me, the Lizzie Borden house, it doesn't seem like such a big deal. I mean, the hype about it was for the age that, oh my god, a woman murdered somebody. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
fucking think we're capable of murdering somebody? Piss us off. Watch what happens. Like, she had
There,
mental issues, but
there,
you know what I
there's, yeah. Well, think of it this way. There's reasons my husband hasn't been appearing.
What did you do? You got him hog-tied in the basement, don't you?
Shh. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that.
What
But
did my brother what did my brother from another mother do?
um how do I put this without being demonetized?
Never mind. Never mind.
Oh God. Oh God, I can't. I'm done.
Never
That
mind.
that's it for me today. Oh geez. So, but yeah, and Janice wants us to talk about the handprint on Fairview Street. I'm sorry,
From where?
I Fairview Street, our old house. I did see you
Yeah.
put that in the comments a little bit ago. I got sidetracked with Twinkles, so um
Twinkle.
yes, Twinkles. Twinkles, come on. We know what Twinkles are. Actually, don't
You're
answer
a
that.
twinkle. You're
Don't
a
answer that.
twinkle.
Twinkle. Twinkle.
You're a
So
twinkle.
you know who is really a twinkle and has been a twinkle?
You.
Mike. Listen, I don't know what it is with him lately. I don't know if but he's been the literal definition of twinkle toes the past like week. And I'm like, Mike, I looked at him one day. I think this was like 3 days ago. I'm like, honey, if you go any further with this, you're gonna surpass Elton John. Like you
Really?
are with the walking and the and the hips and oh,
I got one thing to say. Mercury's in retrograde.
oh geez, it's affecting him. Ugh, disgusting.
Do we need to get him the Lennon glasses? No.
Yes, yes, I thought about it. I thought about putting him in my coach glasses, and then I was like, oh, I don't want his face on those.
Hey, listen, you kiss that and
Listen, listen. Nobody said I
No,
had to
no,
kiss.
listen, listen, listen. Because you're wrong. I'm right.
No,
Got
no.
sunglasses.
Listen, I when I said I do, I did not mean I do kiss you. I'm sorry. Like that's not part of the contract. That is null and void. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, the handprint. So so we were moving into our old house, the Victorian. And so just to give people kind of like a reference point of what this house was. So the house was
Looks
built
like
in
the
18.
yellow Adams family house.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. So if you guys know what the Adams family house looks like, hang on a second. Let me bring up a picture of the Adams family house.
Old Victorian looking, tall, wise, not real wide looking, but
Yeah.
beautiful house. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but it was laid out weird. Like,
Yeah. Okay, so here it is. I found a good picture of it. So this is
telling
it.
you, I'm telling you, it was like somebody built it to like, open a portal to another world or some shit thing. Telling you.
Okay, so this is the house. Okay, so when you're looking at this is kind of like what our old house looked like before when let me backtrack. So that is what our house looked like, the house that we came from. And it looked very, very similar to that. It had that spire in the front. The only thing was is our house was, a more condensed version. Like if you took that house and you kind of deflated it a little bit, it
That's why I
was
said it wasn't as wide.
yeah, it was
Excuse me.
a yellow version of that house. And so on the second floor in that spire, there is like this little, would you consider that like a sunroom or something like that? Like I don't even know what to consider that. But it was like a little area that you could put like little chairs and sit in and stuff. And
Yep.
we had just moved in. It was literally the day we were moving in. And so the next day, sorry, no, it was actually the next day. The next day she comes flying up to, our half of the house. And she goes, "You gotta come and see this. You gotta come and see this." And I said, "What? What's going on?" She goes, "This is a handprint." And I'm like, "Why are we freaking out over a handprint? Like, what is this?" So I go, okay, I follow her, I go in, and there, just like she said, there appeared a handprint. And this handprint came up to like the fingers were like this high. They were they
Hmm.
were they were tall, they were skinny, and my initial thought was there were boxes that were put in there when the movers, were doing it. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe it's just the boxes. It's from the movers when the movers put the boxes in. So I said,
Right.
go and get me some like Windex or a towel or something like that. And so
Mhm.
she comes back with a towel and I scrub and I'm like, why isn't this coming off? So I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe it's on the other side of the glass. So I open up the
Right.
window next to it. And you know how there was that deck out in front,
Hmm.
that porch, that covered porch? So I
Yep.
was able to get out onto that, you know, covered porch area. And I go to
Yep.
try to get it off of that, from the outside, and it still was not coming off. Little did I know, and this is why she mentions this, because this had to have been the scariest situation that I had happen in that house. So you're talking like a little demon hand, like
Yeah.
it's that's the only way I know how to describe it. That handprint was between the two panes of glass. There's no way for someone to get a handprint in there. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, you know what? We'll deal with it later. We're all super tired because we were still unpacking things, things were all over the place. And I said, we will deal with it later. So the next
Right.
day, I come down to check it out again, and it was gone. Like, it wasn't there anymore. And I'm like, okay, listen, like, that is enough. it it was creepy. It was definitely creepy, and it's something that I couldn't explain it.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I had known you at the time, Rissa, but that was sadly just before we knew you.
Yeah.
I think that was about a year before we knew you.
We
Because we,
met in 2014.
was it 14 or was it 15?
It was in 2014 at the Flippin' Belt Ostara Fest
Beltane. Was it a
or
star or a
Belt
Beltane?
uh
It was Beltane.
Belton. Yeah.
Yeah, because what's her face had a flower band in her hair.
We
And I
all did.
think, did you?
Yep,
Oh,
it was
that's
our
right.
it was like our trademark when we went around to different groups to celebrate with, especially
That's
on Belton.
Yeah. No, that's perfect for Beltane. You know, um, I absolutely love that idea. I love that idea. We should adopt that again. Yeah, I don't know
And
where I was going with that.
we showed up with the two chillins.
Yep, yep. That was fun. And what the one thing that I did like about that was that group, they did have children there, and that was really, really nice to see. So that it was nice. It was definitely nice. But
I like
yeah,
doing stuff with the chillins.
I do too. And it makes it nice, because there's sadly, so many kids out there that
Yep.
like or want to learn about stuff like that, and there are so little resources for them. It's sad. It's sad. But what are you gonna do?
They were good little maidens.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Do,
then
do, do you still talk to them?
I still talk to uh Steph and Vanna
Oh, okay. Okay.
occasionally.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of issues there that, well,
Oh, that stuff is still going on?
Yeah.
Well, that's sad. But anyway, back to the show.
I'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, yeah, I need to know about that. Listen, people, I like gossip, okay? So if you want to come, welcome to, what is it, Nemo's Gossip Day.
Nemo's Gossip Corner.
Nemo's Gossip Corner.
Twitter little birds.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. I am now gonna start a second live stream, and it's gonna be called Nemo's Gossip Corner. We can have, or or we can, or you know what we could do? See, I'm gonna do this in my New Jersey voice. Janice loves it when I do this. Okay, so this will be the ad. Um, how did it go again? I'm trying to remember. Give me a second on this one. Um, oh crap! It was something about coffee talk. So come for coffee talk. Call 555-5555. We'll have coffee and sausages while we talk and gossip. And
Wow.
yeah, we have coffee and sausages. I don't know why there's sausages involved with coffee, but there it is. It, it's nice. It's nice. Unless they're breakfast sausages, right? Breakfast
Huh?
sausages go really good with coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember it now. The whole thing was coffee talk at 5 o'clock. We'll five, 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 five. We have coffee and sausages while we talk. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Nemo's gossip coffee talk with sausages.
Right. You keep your sausage. That's fine.
And I'm done. That is the end for me. Good night, folks.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
just peace out. Oh, jeez. Wow. You know, it's a good thing we have this show because the things that come out of you and my mouth, it's I have I've got quite a few people that say that you and I are extremely entertaining.
But
So,
see, it was funny because you must have known that the day you met us, because like half of us were dressed in black. The only one that was I think the only one that wasn't dressed in some form of black
was Vanna.
was what no, it was Kelsey. She was wearing a bright pink dress. The
I
little
thought
blonde.
I thought Vanna was in white, or am I thinking of another time?
I don't remember, but I think the only one that wasn't wearing some form of black was Kelsey. She was wearing this bright magenta pink dress.
Huh. Okay. Oh, you're right. Okay. No, you're right. I remember now. Took me a second.
It was funny because it was just funny.
Well, I'm trying to get my chair situated over here. Doesn't want to work for
Did you
me.
stop scrolling with the chair?
I can't help it. It keeps rolling around and it's making it hard to sit. So, wh- what were we talking about before? Oh, okay. So back to Rutland Prison Camp, okay? So I am
That's a
I
long way back.
listen, we went up the street, we took a right, we got lost, but we're coming back now. We're good. So, but I'm thinking that we're gonna do a live stream of that one. So I don't know if you're up for it tonight, but I would love to take a ride up to Rutland to see if it's the gates are open.
Well, here's the thing: is why are the gates going to be open after a certain time?
So when did I start going there? 2 years ago. Okay, so the gates have never been closed at all, ever. In the time that I have been going there. And I started going there 2 years ago because when I was in school, I was doing photography there. It was a very, very interesting place to take, photos because of all the dilapidated buildings. And, there's that tunnel thing that's, like about, I want to say 50 feet long. But,
Yep.
but, so ever since I've been going there, I've never had those gates closed, ever, even at night. Even at night. And so I'm curious to see maybe it just wasn't open yet because of the winter and they were just trying to keep people out. Or are they demolishing things and that's why the gates are closed? And if they are demolishing things, Rutland, I
Oh,
am very disappointed in you because that is history that you just literally demolish for no reason.
ooh,
And like
that's
even
gonna
the
be fun.
fire marshal, listen, even the fire marshal, because the committee that was deciding that about Rutland Prison Camp, they're like, yeah, it's a safety hazard, you know, people do this and people do that, and the fire marshal goes, in the years that I have been working as a fire marshal here, I have never once had a call to go up to Rutland Prison Camp. for anything ever.
Good
And
for
I'm
him.
like, and it's like, why are you going to do that? Why are you taking away, something that, granted, it was a prison camp, but it's like one of those things where it's still a part of the history. Whether you
Right.
want to accept it or not, it's still part of that history.
Yeah.
And for them to look at taking it down like it's heartbreaking. It really is. And especially for me, I fell in love with that place. It is an awesome place to go to take Ellie for a walk. It's 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 a nice place to go for a walk. It's a nice place to do photography. It's
The couple of
even
times, yeah, the couple of times that I went in there with you, like, the energy isn't at all like, it's not malicious or anything. It's just, it's different.
yeah, yeah,
It's just
definitely.
different. Like,
But it's very ominous at night. Um,
yeah,
it is
yes,
very,
it was
very ominous. It is very
just
ominous at
driving
night.
around that area. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole area, like for miles around that prison camp, that whole area just has this really kind of like heavy feeling to it.
Yes.
But I never really felt scared. Like it's very hard to just to
It puts you
explain.
on edge. It doesn't make you scared. It puts you on edge.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Stick your
Mm.
ass on the edge of your seat.
Yep, yep, yep. That should be fun.
Like I know you would. I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, looking out the windows, seeing what I can see in the dark, because I had never been up there in the dark.
Yeah, it and that's why we had why we were gonna go, and it just the gates were closed, and I was so upset. I was like, come on. That's why I actually want to take a ride up there tonight, because I want to see if those gates are open. And if they are
Well, yeah,
open,
it's just driving around. I mean, and if they are open,
yeah, you know what? We might do that. We might
kind
do
of
that.
want to go for a ride
When?
tonight
Where?
around to the Rutland prison camp to see if it's open.
Sure.
Okay.
Look at that, people. Does anybody want to we're not going to do an investigation tonight or anything, but would anybody be interested in us doing a live stream of our little, you know, adventure? Maybe
I'm
if it's
fairly
open.
certain. I'm fairly certain that people are going to be excited that are tuned in are going to be excited about us like putting anything up. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you know what, guys? You know what? That's a good idea. So we will definitely. So if we go tonight, what we're gonna do is when we get there, we'll bring the GoPro with us, and we'll actually no, we can just use my phone. Um, I'll hop back on Twitch on my phone, and I'll live stream. You know, as we're driving through and stuff like that. Just and you know what? That's going to be cool because it's going to give people an idea of the layout and what we're talking about when we say this place is in the middle of nowhere. And so yeah, so that should be fun to do. Well, little
yeah.
fun thing.
When we get done here, I need a quick shower though. So
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I gotta eat.
I tell everybody that I need a shower.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Yeah. So so that's what we're gonna do. You know what? You guys are gonna have a little treat tonight. We're gonna go down to Rutland Prison Camp, and if the gates are open, we will do a short little live stream of us driving through Rutland Prison Camp, and you guys can get kind of like a layout and see what it's like, and then we could probably do another live stream sometime this week to, if we can get into Rutland Prison Camp, maybe we'll do a second live stream specifically just for that during the week. Yeah, yeah, we'll figure it out. There's so much me, Rissa, and Avalon, we have been talking quite extensively lately, and we bought a domain name. So sometime in the future, I don't know when, but we're eventually going to have a website and everything like that. And the reason that we've already purchased the domain is specifically so that we can reserve it for us. So this domain can no longer be bought by anybody else. It's specifically us. And so we're confident that this channel is going to grow. It's only a matter of time that we do. And, we're preparing for that in the future. And we have a lot of, nice, really good ideas for the future. What direction we're going to go in for ADFP and how everything is going to be laid out. And, we're excited to see what the next, year or so is going to bring for ADFP and Spirit Talk. I know that some people really like a lot of people like Spirit Talk. And what I like about Spirit Talk is it's informal. It's not put together like how ADFP is. So that's
Right.
it makes it more interesting, and it's a time for us to be able to, even though I tend to forget to look at the chat, but it's a time for us to be able to connect one-on-one with our followers, and that's very important. Our followers are our people. We consider our followers kind of like our ADFP family and part of our ADFP family, and we definitely want to make you guys happy to be with us, and to give you guys the best content that we could ever possibly give. And what we have planned for future is we're still in the works on how many things have we been talking about lately. We were talking about doing the road trip, and then
Yep.
there was a couple of other things. There's a couple of other things that we have in the works right now. The major problem that we are all having is we keep trying to get a hold of people because we don't break into places. We try to
Nope.
do this legally so we don't break into places. And the problems
Yeah,
that we've been
we try to behave ourselves. We don't break into places. We don't.
Yeah, no. And it's
We try
because
to.
we don't want that on our record, because even though it technically just be considering trespassing, it's still something
Yeah.
that I'm not willing to do, and I'm not going to put you guys or anybody else on the ADF team,
Yeah.
into a situation where it could be either dangerous or, we could get in trouble. And point blank, when I was telling Rissa about this last week, there was a state hospital, a state institution called Belchertown State School. And I had sent an email to the town clerk, who then forwarded that email to the committee that runs that particular property. And come to find out, I had asked them if we could get in, if we could do some filming. And he said, I would absolutely love to let you guys go. He goes, but I can't. And he's like, there is a very, very good reason for that. There is asbestos in the buildings, and the asbestos is actually in the walls. It's like raining down on everything. And I was saying to Rissa, I'm like, I am glad that we do this legally, because I wouldn't put myself in that situation, let alone my team. And it's like, had I not... Go ahead.
I mean, like, if we had the money to do, like, filter masks and stuff, but, goggles and filter masks, we could probably get away with it. But
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, but it's still one
But
of
the
those
fire
things where we wouldn't have known. We would not have known that there was that going on in there. And like I know it would be kind of silly not to think that there's not um asbestos. Obviously the building is old, so there's obviously going to be asbestos in it, but I didn't realize that the buildings were that bad. And apparently one fell down on its own. I was like, wow.
keep talking. We have a fire truck outside the house.
Really?
Yeah, hold on.
You guys okay?
I think so. Not from
Okay.
us. I don't smell any smoke or nothing.
Okay. Do you need me to mute you for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'll continue talking. All right, hun. So yeah. So this Belchertown State School, and it's I worked in the human service field for roughly about 13 years. Just to give you guys kind of like a backlog of what I used to do for work. And I had a few individuals that were um, held at that school, at that particular school. And it was a state institution for people that were uh, m- mentally impaired. And it was run absolutely horribly. The conditions were unsanitary. The patients were not treated correctly. It was just it was horrible. And the reason that I wanted to do that place in particular is because of my background in the human service field. I wanted to see where my individuals came from. Even though I'm not in the human service field anymore, I still think about my residents, my clients, um, because when you've been with, people for so long, you build that kind of attachment to them. And this was just, I'm like, I would love to see where my residents, my clients came from. And what better way to do that than to do an investigation, because there were quite a lot of, my clients were lucky. They got out. There were a lot of people that didn't. There were a lot of people that passed away in that place, that were kept there just because they were, misdiagnosed, or things weren't, back you got to think back then. I think you're talking about the early. I think it was built in like 1910, 19 something. I can't remember the exact dates. But back then there was no real understanding of mental health. So what I wanted to do is investigate the place that my individuals came from, and sadly we're not going to be able to do that. But we do have quite a few other projects in in the works, and I'm really hoping that we're gonna get ADFP out on time in August. Providing that everything goes well, I should be able to maybe put out a few of the episodes ahead of time to give you guys kind of like a taste of what's to come. So that should be interesting. That should be definitely interesting. So, but I think that's about it. I think that's all we have for tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. I want to wait for Madame Rissa to be back, but I think I hear her. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of, you guys are probably seeing the little reminders that I have going on in chat. So I wanted to remind everybody, don't forget to look at our Facebook and our YouTube channel. I post a lot of stuff on Facebook. I am trying to get better at posting things on Twitter. Little updates, little, doodads and fun things. Every now and again, I put up on Facebook. I started this new thing where it's Name That Movie. And I take little quotes from the movies and I try to see if you guys can guess what those are. So that is, kind of like a little quirky thing that I'm doing. Oh, welcome back, madam.
Thank you.
I was telling them about the new thing that I started on Facebook, the Name That Movie thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
So I started posting the other day I posted and I said what did I say? I said name that movie and the hint was crossover children all are welcome, all welcome. And
Poltergeist.
yep, and someone got it. Someone got it on the first shot. I was like, "Ah, you little brats." So the new one that I have up there right now is what is it? Let me find it real quick. What does it say? Do not say anything, okay? Because nobody's commented on it yet. So
Okay.
I said it's time for another round of Name That Movie. Your hint. Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering. I know you know that movie. So do not say a thing. But yeah, I was just thinking that we can probably wrap it up about now. So I'll go over our usual spiel. So yeah, so we have our Facebook page. Watch out for that because I started that new game thing, kind of like a little quirky thing to get our people, talking. And
Yep.
remember to subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification on our YouTube channel, and also follow us here on Twitch. And we also have a Twitter as well. And everything that you guys need for links to our Twitch page, to our YouTube page, our Facebook page is all down underneath this chat area.
Indeed.
Yeah, and on there I also have the schedule. I also have I've had a couple of people ask me where I get the music for the starting soon screen. I have a link to where I get that music also, and I have a way for people to contact us via email.
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean? Where did we get it?
My music?
Yeah, we stole
Yeah.
it, of course, because we are naughty people.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
What?
The
That we're naughty
YouTube the YouTube police are gonna come and get us.
Nah, not if you have proof that you paid for it or
Yeah,
traded.
no, I pay for it. I have a subscription to a monthly thing. It's really cool.
Mhm.
You should check it out. But yeah, so I have a link to that down underneath here on our Twitch page. So everything that you need, our schedule, where we get the music, how to contact us, our YouTube information, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook is all down there underneath on our main page. So I hope that everybody has a good night, and we'll see you all next Saturday at 6:30, and hopefully maybe we will be doing a live stream at Rutland Prison Camp if we can. So we'll see
us.
Come play with us.
Come play
Come play with us, Danny.
Forever and ever and ever.
That's not creepy.
You're welcome.
Oh god. Alrighty guys, so we will see you all next Saturday at 6:30, hopefully later on this week, well later on tonight and maybe sooner this week for a live stream at Rutland. And so all you guys have a good night. and the rest of tomorrow and what's left of the weekend, and we will catch you all next week. Bye.
Bye bye.